Okay, in my previous lecture, I showed you that what will be the impact on the OC curve, what will be the changes occur in the OC curve when the sample size is fixed and the acceptance rate or the acceptance probability is changed. So now in this lecture, I'm just going to show you that what will be the impact, what kind of changes will be occur in the OC curve when sample size change while the acceptance rate C is fixed. So we will apply these things on the same example which I will discuss in the when the sample size was fixed and the acceptance rate changed. So this will be the behavior of the curve. You can see this is the Poisson distribution for N1P. So our N at the first instant is 60. Okay, and my acceptance rate is fixed, which is 1 in this example. So in this case, the producer risk or the alpha or the acceptance parity limit will be 0.1122. So this is our alpha. In this case, I will show you that how you will calculate the producer. So this is basically the producer risk. So there will be a chance of 0.879% that the lot will be accepted. The remaining 1.122 will be the chance that they will reject the lot. So mean a good lot will be rejected, which is also called type 1 error or producer risk. So this is basically the alpha. And for the same value, for let's suppose our P for the defective is 0.06, the probability that the beta or the consumer risk will be 12%. But when we increase this sample size, which is now 80, so you can see this is now the AQL is the alpha value is 19%, while the beta value is decreased, which is 0.04, which is near 5%. Okay. Similarly, when we increase this to 100, then this probability, this producer risk alpha value will be further increased, which is 0.26, while the beta value will be decreased. So what kind of impact change occur in the OC curve? You can see from this. So in this yellow one, in this case, we choose n is equal to 60. So when we check it, so you can see this is now going up. So for 120, the alpha value, for example, for 1% defect, so 1% will be there. So you can see if we draw it, 1% will be at this place. So there is a huge risk. Let's suppose this is 1%, 0.01. So if I draw it, it will be at this place. Okay, it will be at this place. It will be near to, if I draw it. Okay, so you can see it. This will be the alpha, the producer risk. So this wall is the alpha, the producer risk. So the producer risk increase while the consumer risk is decreased. So now I'm just going to show you that how you will sketch this in the Microsoft Excel. So in this example, now you can see that the lot size is 5000, my N1 is 60, N2 is 80, third sample size is 100, and N4 is 120. While our lot will be accepted if there is only one defective product, it will be accepted. If the defective product number increase more than 1, then the lot will be rejected. So first of all, we need to calculate the mean for each sample size. So you know the mean formula is this, and the defective, these are the probabilities. So we calculate these things. Then for every mean, we want to calculate the acceptance probability, and for this purpose, we want to conduct a Poisson distribution. So you know the Poisson distribution. In Poisson distribution, so what you will do? So the first one I just want to show you that how you will do it. Poisson distribution, you need to write this Poisson distribution. Then in the Poisson distribution, what is the acceptance rate? We want to use 1. You need to freeze this because we don't want to change it. Then the second is the mean. So we want to use N1P. So N1 is 60 into defective probability. And 1, we want to calculate the cumulative probability. So when we calculate this, when you drag it down, you will calculate this one. Okay. So basically, when you calculate this AQL, how you will calculate is equal to 1 minus the total probability minus the accepted, is equal to 1 minus the accepted probability. So you will get the rejected probability when you drag it down. Okay, so you will calculate this. Similarly, for all other, you will use the same formulation. You need to keep it as a green because these are the alpha value. Alpha value mean 1 minus alpha, 1 minus the acceptant, you will get the alpha value. So mean basically this is the alpha, this is the risk of producer at 1% defect. So when you calculate, there will be a risk of 12%. Okay, there is a chance of 12% that the lot will be rejected. Similarly, for P is equal to 0.06, your beta value will be 0.12. Okay, so now when you increase the n value, the sample size, before it was 60, it was 80 now. So in this formulation, we use basically this. In this one, we use C2. So how you will calculate C2? For this one, for NP, you can see now in this formulation, we basically use this N3P. In this one, we use N2P. N2P means we use in N2. If you click on this N2, we utilize N sample size 2, which is 80. Okay, so at this way you will calculate. And for example, for 1%, we want to check what is the alpha value. So for 1%, this, for 2%, 0.33, 0.47, 0.59, 0.69. For 1% defective, 0.12, 0.19, 0.26, 0.33. So the green one is increased. But the yellow one, for P is equal to 0.06. If we want to check the producer, the consumer risk at defective of 0.06, so you can see that the beta value for 0.06 for when n was 60, so it was 12%. Okay, but now when we increase the sample size to 80, so basically N2P we utilize 2. So for 0.06, this risk is further reduced, which is 0.047. For N3, because we utilize in this one N3 is 100. Now we use the sample size 100. So it's further decreased. And now in this case, it's further decreased. So when we sketch it, so you can see that mean what kind of changes will occur if we increase the sample size. Let's suppose when we increase from 60 to 80, from 80 to 100, and from 100 to 120. Okay, so and we keep C is equal to 1. Okay, so you can also see from the table, if the proportion defective of the lot is, let's suppose is 0.01, then NP is 0.08, you can see this is 0.08, and the probability of acceptance of the lot is 0.809. So you can see the probability of acceptance is 0.809. So in this way, the probability of acceptance of the lot is 0.0. Thus, the producer risk is 0.19. So this is the producer risk of 0.19. Okay. Similarly, if P is equal to 0.06, the probability of acceptance is 0.08. So this is 0.08 for 80. N2 is 80. So I'm just talking about N2 is 80. Other values of the producer and consumer risk are shown in this whole, in the yellow, and the producer risk. This is the producer in the green, and these are the consumer risk. So these results basically showing that increasing N, increasing sample size N while holding C constant. So we just keep this C constant. While holding C constant, increasing the producer risk. So you can see the producer risk increase while the consumer risk decrease, reduce. For example, in this example, the producer keeping C is equal to 1 and increasing the sample size make getting a lot accepted by the customer tougher. Only 2 bad products will get the lot rejected, and the likelihood of the finding those 2 defects is greater than in a sample of 120 than in a sample of 60. So consequently, the producer risk increases. Okay, for the management of this being, for example, if the producing, so what they will do, the management what will do, what the consumer risk goes down because the random sample of 120 product from a lot with 6% defective is less likely to have only 1 or fewer defective product. So in this way, I hope you understand that when you increase the sample size, your producer probability, producer risk will be increased while consumer risk will be decreased. Okay, so in this way you will interpret the OC curve changes when the sample size change or when the acceptance rate change. So I hope you understand.